Hi, welcome back. So we have now finished making one collage. The collage was on the umbrella theme of a significant event. I made a collage, or I'm still working on it. I think I'm almost done of the time I immigrated to the United States. And we also saw the collage that my friend Petra made about the significant event in her life, the birth of her daughter. So let's start working on the second collage now, because practice makes perfect. Keep going and we'll make another one, and a collection of collages will make the visual memory album. So a collection of at least 6 would be good, but we'll try to make at least 3 or 4 in this series. Today I'm going to select the umbrella theme of people. And again, all the themes are related. So if I select the theme of people, it could be people in my childhood, it could be people during my college days, it could be people in the United States. So it's connected with seasons of life. People is also connected obviously to places, because you meet people in different places, like people I met in India, people I meet in the United States, people I met on the plane coming over. So places is connected to that. People that you met at significant times in your lives. All the umbrella themes are connected, but today we are going to focus on people. So I wish you were all in front of me and we could talk about what is the first thing you do. The first thing we do is to set the timer for 10 minutes and think of the people in our lives. 10 minutes, yes, I agree, 10 minutes is not enough. And actually on the video, it's probably just 5 minutes. But I think 10 minutes or even 1 hour gives a structure. Otherwise, you could be thinking about people all day long, and which we do, But this is a project, this is an activity. We are going to set the timer for 10 minutes, and then we are going to think, just reflect. Again, activating the senses is very important. Go back to a particular time in your life. And think of all the people at that time. What did they look like? What did they wear? What did they eat? What kinds of smells you remember? So this is a time to set the timer and think. And you know what? I actually do like to doodle while I'm thinking. So I'm just going to kind of doodle with my color pencils while I think of the people. I mean, I could also be just sitting still, which is what my mother always tells me to do. Sit still, like she does. She doesn't sit still either. Sit still, people. Thinking about all the people in my life. My friends, all my classmates. So many people. I had that classmate with the pigtails, big fat pigtails she would have. Oh. And she loved to dance, and she would dance. That would be nice to include her. Okay, now that the 10 minutes of thinking are over, the next step, I wish it could be a call and response, but the next step, of course, is to start with I remember. So right away, I'm going to start with that. This time I want to use a red pen instead of a black pen. I'm an artist. I remember. Okay, so once again, setting the timer for 10 minutes and just writing. So setting the timer for 10 minutes And here it is, setting it for 10 and writing. I remember, of course, mom, dad, sister, brother, the first dog we had, dog. That's a dog's tail. And that's the dog. That looks like a snail, not a dog. No, never mind. Okay, mom, dad, sister, brother. No getting distracted, Sonny. Okay. Oh, the people who worked in our building, in our apartment building. No stopping. Keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. Mom, of course, grandma. My grandma was such a character. Grandma. Grandpa wasn't around. Grandma, because my grandpa died when I was just 4 years old. But I do remember him as well. I'll write him. I remember him. In fact, I wrote a whole story about him. So grandpa. Then my other set of grandma and grandpa. I love them. My dad's father was very strict. Well, shh, keep writing. Grandma, grandma, grandpa. Huh? Oh, my cousin, my funny cousin. He put an eraser up his nose once. My funny cousin. Okay, funny cousin. The other older cousin. Oh my goodness, all the friends who I played with at grandma's house. Oh my goodness, my aunts. I mean, it's so fast, I can't even write anymore. The memories are just, I'm overwhelmed. Aunties. Oh, my friend Seema at school. Oh God, okay, that's cool. Then what about college? Oh my goodness, I just heard from her. Oh, I can't, my hands are just, okay. Take a deep breath, stop, you have to think. Okay, it's just that I can just picture everybody after activating the senses, like I said. It was a really fun childhood with all those friends. Okay, so I'm going to continue writing. The friends in college, yeah. Then my colleagues at my first job, they taught me so much at first job. Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness, Lois, Leah, Carol. Oh, sometimes I have to take a break to really think about all these people. It's 10 minutes, I know, and you have to keep writing, but I am writing in a way because I'm writing in my head. I'm thinking of all those people, a lot of people, and all the different things I did with them, all the different activities I did with them. Manhattan folks, the BPS folks. So now that I have written for 10 minutes and got a pile of pages, we have to narrow it down. The second step is to narrow down what we are going to share through words and images. And as you can see, I'm still floating around in memory lane, but trying to get back to the present. So, you know what? I think I'm going to focus on my mother. She's so much on my mind these days, So I'm going to focus on my mom. But I'm also, no, it just can't be mom. I'm going to also focus on the friends at grandma's house. I just used to have so much fun going to grandma's house and the friends there. If I do that, then I have to focus on grandma as well, the apartment building. So this is what you do. You have a long list, and then you go down that list and pick a few things that you think you really want to talk about and share about. And I do want to share about my mom, my family, my dad, my sister, my brother. I want to share about all the friends we used to play with at grandma's house when we were children. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Now the question again, as always, is am I going, now that I have a few things I want to focus on, am I going to focus on sharing it representationally through photographs? And it doesn't have to be photographs of all those friends. It could even be just photographs of other people who could represent my friends. So am I going to do it representationally? Am I going to do it symbolically, like, you know, a symbol for my mother or a symbol for my grandmother instead of using their photos? Or am I just going to do something really abstract? I don't quite know. And one of the things I could do is actually start drawing it out, but that's not the strategy I usually use. I actually start looking for the images. Again, the images can be from old magazines, catalogs, newspapers, your personal collection, or it could also be images that you draw and cut out. Since I do know how to draw, maybe I could do that. I could just draw and cut out the images. But let me just see, you know, what I have here. I have this old, what is this? Oh, it's a catalog from the United States Postal Service. Oh, what a beautiful catalog with all the bright colors in it. And these bright colors do remind me of India. So actually, I want to save this. I like the flowers. They do remind me of India, and that's something. I'm going to take the cover, but I really don't have the heart to tear it out just now. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put it in my collection over here. And I think for this one, since I do want to focus on family members, I look through my personal collection of patterns and things like that I might have. So I have this nice piece of tie and dye paper that could represent a sari, since I'm going to be focusing on my grandma and my mother. I could also pleat it, like, you know, we pleat the sari. Anyway, that's an option. I'm going to keep that aside. I have collected quite a bit of, again, like I said, I've circled mom, grandma, apartment building, friends at grandma's. I also have this in my collection. This, you know, really appeals to me. Playing with friends at my grandma's apartment building. This would be really nice. I could just cut it out or just use a strip like that. So that's there. I also have a whole bunch of patterns, you know. Let me look at that. So this is just white paper, but I love the transparency, which could be really nice for showing a sari. You know, the transparent paper, and it's got little sparkles on it. Okay, I think I'm liking this. There's a lot of options. I like to use things from my personal collection sometimes instead of using the images from magazines. So I have that. So this, I have two options so far. And grandma used to wear only white because my grandfather had passed away, and as is the custom in India, she wore white. So this could represent grandma. This could be mom. Again, I have another beautiful white pattern, handmade paper. The thin ones really appeal to me because it reminds me of the cotton saris that the women in my family wore. I'm just holding it up so you can see how transparent it is. I have that. I have this. It's a letter writing paper, but it is a design which is very common to my part of India. It's a tie and dye process. No, it's not tie and dye, but it's kind of a textile process. And this is very typical pattern. Also, red is a positive color in my culture. I would love to use this. I especially like this little pattern. Love this little pattern here. Somehow integrate that pattern. Another pattern, kind of Indian. It looks very Indian-y. So that children playing. I have all these options, and in this case, I really think I should lay it out on the surface or the paper. So I'm going to look for the paper. Like I said, any thick paper is fine. I'm going to be using this paper. I actually also have some other paper that I can use. I have this textured paper already that I had made. This is the texture I made myself. I just mixed some paint and dabbed it on here, so it has this beautiful texture. And I could use this paper. I could just use plain white paper. So anyhow, all these, just make sure that the surface or the paper you stick things on is heavier than the paper, than the things that you're sticking. Because otherwise it'll just warp and be like that, like that. You don't want that. You just want it to be flat. So as flat as possible. So use heavy paper, cardstock, something like that, watercolor paper, and then use thin paper. Cut out things from thin paper, or that is why magazines and catalogs work really well, because look at the paper I've cut out from the Lanzan catalog. It's really thin, so it'll stick really flat. It'll stick really flat, as opposed to this, which is a bit thicker, but thin paper sticks really flat. So we have that. And I think at this point I do want to start working on my collage of on the umbrella theme of people, and it's kind of related to activities. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to use this paper for sure. And I'm going to make some sketches though first. Again, the options are symbolic, representational, and abstract. I'm just looking at my remember sheet. Sometimes it's good to go back and look at that list. Anyhow, I'm going to make a sketch. And my goodness, my remember sheet was really long this time. I'm going to make a sketch. This is a smaller piece, and my final surface is bigger, as you can see. But this is just a sketch, so it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is, I definitely want to include saris somehow. And saris have a flow, like they flow. I notice how I'm just drawing very freely. This is not a drawing lesson, so I'm just not going to focus on that. But it's free drawing. Saris, the sari. I want to draw that. I am definitely going abstract. I don't want to use a photograph of my mother or my grandmother or my friends, because right now for me, and again, it's very important to sit with those emotions. Right now, I just want to evoke through images the emotions, the tenderness, the gentleness of my mother's love, and the warmth of family and friends. I want to evoke that. So I'm just going to, do some abstract shapes and figure out how to integrate, particularly this design. So I'm going to do that in this one. So I think I'm going to do that and that. And now we are going to do a really exciting thing that we have to do in collage, and that is cut out the paper. So again, the choices are, I can use, I'm going to do the dangerous thing of waving my scissors around. No waving, okay. Just putting them down here. And remember, I have a small one too. So scissors, but I'm actually going to use the technique of tearing. And fortunately, by mistake, I already told this. Oh boy, I ruined this. Well, not really. So I'm going to use the technique of tearing. And I want to include this pattern somehow. So I'm going to tear. And I'm going to tear away from, towards me. You can do, you get a little different texture if you tear towards you or tear away from you. So I'm going to tear towards me. And this is such old paper that it's tearing really quickly. Look at that, it's just crumbling in my hands. Let's see if it's true that it's different if you tear away from you or towards you. So this was towards me. Let me tear away from me. Yeah, you do. Look, you get a little edge if you tear away. You get that white edge. You get a white edge. I don't know if you can see it, but you do get a white edge. Over here, you can see it here. And in this one, you don't get that edge. So I'm going to use the technique of tearing, and I'm going to tear this pattern out. I'll continue to tear my pattern out, and I'm going to use these torn pieces in my collage. Yeah, here we go. I don't know where it's going to land in the final thing, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to include this very Indian pattern. Or not Indian, I must be specific, very Gujarati pattern, because that's where I'm from the state of Gujarat, which is in the western part of India. And this design is very typical of Gujarat, and the red color is very special for all Hindus, but particularly for Gujaratis. So that's the red I'm going to use. Now to tear the sari out. Now I could have the option of using this. I want to use transparent paper. So, oh, this is exciting.